This is the first part of Dingley May's lesson on the mystery of meditation. It should be heard only by students of the science of mental physics. I ask that you enter upon your work in a deep devotional attitude of mind. Now, my beloved, all great religions have always claimed to have an inner side revealed as a priceless treasure only to a select few. These mysteries of the inner side of all religions have been wisely and jealously guarded, handed down, usually by word of mouth, for generation after generation. The initiated know that the living truth is embodied in esotericism rather than in exotericism, and declare that only through esoteric practices can you understand even the outer or exoteric beauties of life itself in what appears to be the outer world. In other words, there is a mystic side to life which reveals its mysteries only through a search and practice of life's inner laws. All religions have made this claim. Christianity is no different. All men are not at the same level of evolution, so that it were useless to intellectually give to them the same religious teaching. That which would help the intellectual man would be entirely unintelligible to the stupid, while that simple intellectual teaching necessary to the young soul would be crude and boring to the philosopher. Now, while this is clear in regard to the intellectual understanding of religion, the great teachers of all ages have declared that there exists one single esoteric secret which will enable all men, irrespective of what they may know or may not know intellectually, to develop themselves spiritually on the inner side, esoterically, to the highest point, so that in their outer or exoteric life they may express the highest that they are evolutionarily developed to express. This is the ultimate aim and end of man's existence, finally to express God. Now, though called by many names in different religions, I may say at once that this secret is the actual coming into direct union with God, with the universal intelligence, with the moving wisdom of life, of coming into the heart of love, of coming to realize in the silence one's own divine nature. Now, what is this way? How is it done? Any sincere student in mental physics may be able to learn it and use it, but you must, as deeply as possible, enter that magic realm of the silence where you reach the highest spiritual height that you are capable of reaching. I cannot do it for you. All I can do is to indicate the way. The pilgrim must reach that fixity of mind in which no breeze, however strong, can waft an earthly thought within. Thus purified, the shrine must of all action, sound, or earthly light be void. Even as a butterfly, o'ertaken by the frost, falls lifeless at the threshold, so must all earthly thoughts fall dead before the fane. Now, it is quite common for students to experience difficulty in their early practice. Many report that I am able to meditate. I can get to the point where I seem to lose all the sense of my body, but I am not able to control my mind in the same way. All you have to do, O candidate, is to follow instructions. Do not feel in any way fearful or superstitious. Follow instructions. As your teacher, I emphasize steady, reverent practice. Record. This is the second part of Dingley May's lesson on the mystery of meditation. It should be heard only by students of the science of mental physics. I ask that you enter into your work in a deep devotional attitude of mind. Now, my beloved, I shall ask you now to imagine that you are in attendance at a class at the Institute. You await the entry of Dingley May, your teacher. Now, some are seated in the sevenfold position, some are seated on their chairs. It would be well for me to give you an idea as to why it is advisable to sit in the sevenfold position. I have no doubt that you have some knowledge of meditation. The sevenfold position is the most natural way to sit, so that you place the physical organism in perfect correspondence with the living, moving force of life itself throughout the universe. It is well to sit so that the buttocks are as flat as possible, occupying as much space on the floor as possible. Why? It is because your body is truly an electrical instrument, and for the purpose of meditation you look upon it as an electrical instrument. In sitting in the sevenfold position, you are contacted with 7 distinct electrical connections, so to speak. Now, with the spine straight, the whole column not twisted or bent in any way, the 2 buttocks form the root of the tree in the earth upon which you sit. They form 2 electrical connections, the right being the positive, the left being the negative, but be quite sure that your spine is quite straight. I repeat, the spine must be straight. I know that this position to some is quite uncomfortable. It may be that your body will not readily adjust itself to this position. If that be so, then sit on a stool or even sit in a comfortable armchair. You must be the judge. Now, as you sit here, your 2 buttocks touch the earth, making 2 electrical connections. Then your 2 ankles, as they rest upon the floor, make 2 more electrical connections, making 4. Your 2 legs, as they are crossed above the ankles, make 1 more electrical connection, a total of 5. Then your hands upon your knees, palms upward, make 2 more electrical connections, a total of 7. Now, I will not hold a discussion tonight on that magic number 7, but all of you in mental physics are to learn that the universe is composed of 7 distinct kingdoms, and that man, standing at the apex of consciousness below the celestial kingdom, embodies all the kingdoms that are lower than his own human kingdom, and everything that we can see or touch or sense or dream about is made up of 7 distinct sevens. Now, so, my beloved, you come to the point where you begin to watch your breath. Having placed yourself then in the sevenfold position, you are ready. You are the humble meditator who comes reverently before the throne of wisdom, and the first thing that you have to achieve is a consciousness of a cessation of your physical forces. You do that by watching your breath. You sit, you watch your breath. You feel the breath coming in and going out, coming in and going out. And as you watch your breath, possibly you may get the idea of a slowly, evenly, rhythmically moving wheel. The breath is coming in, which is half of the wheel. The breath is going out, which is the other half of the wheel. And as you watch, it seems that this feeling of wheel-like motion increases and causes you to imagine that the wheel grows larger. And gradually you find your breath becoming longer. It is extended. It elongates itself. It becomes smoother. Now, in your next recording, this watching of your breath will be continued. My beloved, practice. This is the 3rd part of Dingley May's lesson on the mystery of meditation. In your last recording, my beloved, I instructed you on watching your breath. As you watch your breath, it becomes longer, smoother. This is your first step, and a most important one. Now, candidate, when you first begin to watch your breath, it will seem that there are many rough, hard, and uneven points over the surface of your breathing. Some breaths are longer than others. Some breaths are cut up. But gradually, as you watch, you find that your breath becomes smoother and fuller. As the breath becomes smoother and fuller, and as that can only take place gradually, it seems that your body is moving. It seems that your body is slipping away, melting itself into the atmosphere, so to speak. There is no feeling in my body, and yet I am all feeling. I could not tell whether my hands are here or there. I could not tell the difference between the top of my head and the soles of my feet. All seems to be making itself known to me in a peculiar unity of feeling. My body is gone. As you sit still, your body, though it may seem to be gone, may seem also to grow larger, may seem to grow heavier or lighter, as the case may be. And you may seem, so far as your feelings are concerned, to be seated in the very center of the thing that you call your body, filled with feeling and yet having no physical feeling. Now rest assured, O candidate, that whatever changes of feeling come to your body, these are the feelings which will reveal to you what I am now talking about. As your body becomes rested and stilled and in repose and fully equilibriumized, you get a feeling of beautiful balance and rhythm. Breath is the only thing that you can feel, coming evenly and restfully in, going evenly and restfully out, becoming so soft and smooth and true that you can scarcely differentiate between the incoming of the inhalation and the outgoing of the exhalation. It makes you feel so perfectly at peace. 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 This is your first step, the feeling of peace in the body. The more reverently you watch your breath, the more serene and happy and peaceful you will feel. The forces in your body will seem to die down, and with reverent practice, all the forces of your body will seem to be going in the same direction, bringing you an all-pervading feeling of deep and holy peace, peace, peace. And you should encourage this feeling. Imagine that you are completely at peace. Imagine that all the divine forces of eternal wisdom are flowing in one deep, rhythmic, peaceful river within you. I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks. This is the fourth part of Dingley May's lesson on the mystery of meditation. You now know, my beloved, the technique of watching your breath. Then patiently practice. Let us proceed slowly. The second step is to endeavor to do with your mind what you have already done with your body. Your body is calm and peaceful, but your mind? Why, my mind is jumping about. It seems to be like a maddened monkey. It brings me all kinds of ideas. I think of something in the office, something at home. Did I lock the garage door? I wonder what is going to happen. I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of that. All kinds of ideas are passing rapidly and in a medley and chaos through my mind. Indeed, O candidate, some of the pictures coming to you may even be cruel. They may shock you. But have no fear. Just sit and watch. That is your mind. That is just how your mind acts upon itself, even when you are aware of watching, as also when you are not watching. So as you sit in meditation, watch the performance in your mind as if you were watching a movie. And then, when you feel you can control it, and you feel that you have seen what is going on, gently take charge. Gently declare with great inward emotion, peace, peace, I am at peace. Be still, I am still. In a very little time, after proper practice, you will find that your mind, too, will seem to fall down. It will seem to relax. It will seem as if a cloud has fallen from your mind. Your brain activity will not be so intense. You will feel that you are having great difficulty perhaps in conscious thinking. You simply cannot think. So powerful is the spiritual essence of yourself, portrayed through your mind and your feeling. And gradually, it will seem also as if there is sleepfulness in your mind. You will feel with such infinite inner stillness that your mind is like one great ocean, or you may find that your mind is like one great eternal crystal. And then, while you are sitting in the very center of this great crystal jewel within the crystal, and then you may feel in your mind the same kind of feeling that has come into your body. You are ready now to declare that which you desire to feel, which is peace, peace, peace. Do not make any effort, O candidate. Remember that whatever it is that you are seeking will reveal itself to you. Thou dost ascend from man to God. Peace be unto you. This is the fifth part of Dingley May's lesson on the mystery of meditation. It should be heard only by students of the science of mental physics, and I ask that you enter into this work in a deep, devotional attitude of mind. You have been instructed, O candidate, into the technique of watching your breath, relaxing your body, and stilling your mind. In your last recording, you were shown how to relax and still your mind, the same as you did with your body. Let us again proceed slowly. You are now ready, and as the willing apprentice of life in the secret place of the Most High, you declare the creative word, the creative living word. And as you declare it, so you create it in your own life. Therefore, you take your foreword in mental physics, and you do not say glibly, I am now entering upon the greatest teaching accessible to man. No, you do not say it only with your mind and your tongue. You say it with your soul, with your love. You say it lovingly, prayerfully, reverently, not disturbing in a single degree your breath within you. Without interrupting the even, hushed, restful rhythm of your breath, you cause the word of you to ride out on the breath, something like this. I am now entering breath upon the greatest teaching, breath, accessible to man, breath, for I am learning, breath, the secrets of existence, the riddle of the universe is about to me. I am now solving it. You see, my beloved, the manner in which you begin your speech is of first importance. No disturbance of your breath, no heavy inhalation or exhalation, no disturbance of your mind, no slightest change in your inward feeling, no change in the peacefulness of your mind. But if this should occur, merely chant peacefully and softly, peace, 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 which will again lull the being of you into restfulness and equilibrium. Now this is very important for you to do, my beloved, to do this with all the feeling of love and joy and surrender and gratitude that you know. You have been uplifted into your higher self, and it is as if this higher self is speaking with command in utter reverence to something infinitely higher than you, and at the same time to something that is much below yourself. You are in this way beginning to awaken your subconscious mind, and you will notice as you go along and practice that the breath will grow very much longer and smoother. Indeed, it may become so smooth that you will feel that the breath is entirely stopped. And when the breath seemingly has entirely stopped, you will then know that you have come to the inward breath, the holy breath, than which there is naught higher. Now in your next recording, I shall have great pleasure in instructing you into the mystery of meditation by the triangle. Feel at peace, my beloved. Be at peace. Feel that all the light of wisdom is flowing into your mind. You are grateful. You give thanks. This is the sixth part of Dingley May's lesson on the mystery of meditation. It should be heard only by students of the science of mental physics, and I ask that you enter upon your work in a deep devotional attitude of mind. This, O candidate, continues your lesson on meditation by the triangle. If you declare, I am light, how do you know that you are speaking these words? When you say, I am light, it seems that in what is called your mind, your command to speak goes forth to your tongue or your throat. That is the first side of your triangle. When you say, I am light, your sound rides out on your breath and goes as far as your breath goes. The further your sound goes, the more perfectly does it penetrate the veil of your own aura to enter the universal aura. You have command of your mind to speak, but how do you know that you are really speaking? You hear it, and it seems as if there is a faculty within your brain or within your mind that looks outward to the end of your sound, and you hear the sound riding out on your breath. You see then first the one side of the triangle from your mind to your throat, the second side of the triangle from your throat outward on your breath, the third side of the triangle from your mind looking outward, listening to your sound. 3 distinct lines from your mind to your throat to the end of your breath, and then again from your mind, watching the sound to the end of your breath. And so you have your idea of your sound by the triangle. Now, the further your sound goes, the smoother your breath. The smoother your breath, the further the sound will go. You may say, I am light, and say it so quietly that even those round about you cannot hear you. Or you may say it with decision, I am light, so that on the other side of the street somebody can hear you. The manner in which you declare the word is determined by your mind and your emotions. And so you, the meditator, are now ready. You quietly, restfully, rhythmically declare, I am light, I am light. And the slower and longer your breath, the further your sound goes. Gradually, the pronunciation of the words becomes indistinct. The words run together, becoming one sound. For example, the words, I am light, may become gradually, I am light, the final T being omitted. Now, this is important to notice in your practice. And, O candidate, I cannot emphasize too strongly, practice. Keep practicing in faith. Peace be unto you. This is the 7th part of Dingley May's lesson on the mystery of meditation. In your last recording, a most important part of the mystery of meditation was shown to you. As you were speaking, and you must speak, you find the actual pronunciation of your words merges together. For example, I am light, gradually becomes I am light, and so on. Let us pursue this a little further. Suppose you meditate upon I am light. The more your mind becomes stilled, the less pronounced the words become. You feel your body completely relaxed and still. Your breath is completely even and rhythmic. Then you say, I am light, which gradually becomes I am light, long drawn out. Soon the L is omitted, the words you pronounce distinctly being merely though you are still adding the word light mentally. As you become absorbed in the silence, becomes simply Om. The sound thus becomes an indistinguishable chant or hum accompanying the thought. It is the universal sound, Om, the sacred word of the ancients from which we derive the words omen, omnipotent, the Latin word omnes, which means all. From this ancient word, all separate sounds come and finally go back to their origin. For example, I am light, when in perfect accord with your breath, goes out to the extreme point and then loses itself into the Om or Om. Now remember, you do not think, you wait upon God. The deeper your concentration and the more consecrated your body seems to become, then the less attention, the less mind stuff can be placed upon the actual framing of the words, so that I am light merges into Om, right to the end of your breath. Then your meditation is established. You have reached the center of yourself. Your mind is at peace, established in peace. Your sound goes out, your breath coming in and going out. And the outward motion, the sound, simply brings complete rhythm in that sacred thing that you are and that I am. And so you find yourself, O candidate, chanting to the point, perhaps, where the sound may entirely cease. You lead yourself from concentration into meditation. You lead yourself from meditation into silence. You have not even thoughts of your own. You await God's wisdom. This is the 8th part of Dingley May's lesson on the mystery of meditation. My beloved, the hope of my heart is that you have learned how to come into the great peace from which you lead yourself from sound to soundlessness, from cause to causelessness, and finally, if you be blessed and if you have patience, you lead yourself from self to selflessness, at one with God. Then in your meditation, it seems that all has left you, and yet you have found everything. When sound ceases, if you could only watch it, that is, watch two things at one time, you would find that it becomes the breath of peace. And so, as deeper and deeper and deeper you go into yourself, you find there the profound silence where even the sound listens. Indeed, you have at last come to silence, and the greatest gift that one human being can endeavor to offer to another is a knowledge of the eternal silence. And therefore, O candidate, learn to meditate, the one great esoteric secret, and remain through meditation in the shadow of the Almighty. Practice, for as you practice, so must you be rewarded. Let me tell you that the purity of your sound will ensure the living truth of life within you, and you within the light of life. There is so much that I could tell you about sound, but you will discover in the perfect time that you must perceive these secrets through your own practice. If I tell you, you will forget, but if you discover it for yourself, you must remember. And my beloved, it seems to me that in the spirit of myself, I am very near to you. It is a great privilege to be your teacher. It is a great privilege for you to be the student. As one sitting at the feet of the mighty, I can take myself back in memory to my old master in Tibet, and it seems foolish perhaps to say so, but if I had my time over again, I would learn infinitely more than I learned then. And it may be that the spirit of you will inspire you to feel that as you listen to the voice of your teacher, you may gain inspiration that will lift you to the very highest height of your power to understand the secrets of life's glory. We're all on the path together. Always remember that. Remember that the light of you is seen more in the word of you than in any other way. Now I ask you to repeat after me the 9 positives of our beloved mental physics. I am a whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am powerful. I am loving. I am harmonious. I am rich. I am young. I am happy. I give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks. In your next 2 recordings, my beloved, you will be given illustrations of actual practice Therefore, again, practice. This 9th recording is an illustration, O candidate, of actual practice in meditation. I have endeavored to portray for you the deep reverential tone in which you must speak audibly. Your breath must not be disturbed. You must be unhurried in your speech and inward feeling. Your affirmations must always be in the present tense. Your work is being done now, not in the future. Pay attention. I am now entering upon the greatest teaching accessible to man, for I am learning the secret of existence. The riddle of the universe is about me. I am now solving it. I learn why men die, why they are born, why they live. I learn why men succeed and why they fail, why they are happy and why they are discontent. I have the power and the ability to live as long as I desire, to achieve whatever I wish, and the doors of my mind are now open that I may learn how this is done. I now learn that man is the master of his destiny, that man is the author of death. I realize that death is a mental concept and not a law of life. I now realize that all negation is a mental concept and not a law of life. I learn that there is only one law of creation, the law of life. I am now developing the power and the ability to realize in my own life the one divine principle in which all success, happiness, and peace reside. And I thank the infinite Spirit within me for the knowledge of this wondrous truth now revealed to my consciousness. You will read the above, my beloved, at intervals in order that the thought may penetrate to the subconscious mind to be there completely absorbed. Now, it is not necessary for you to see the sense of it. That will come later. All that you do now is as a child does when it sets out to learn the alphabet. It does not ask why B comes after A, C after B. It accepts the teacher's word. Do thou likewise. And now I imagine a great wall of golden light about us. Nothing can penetrate or pierce that light, as it holds us protectingly in its own essence. Above us, the higher ones in the great hierarchy of universal wisdom, holding over us that gossamer substance which forms a panoply under which we rest together in the great peace. Within the circle there is wisdom. Below the circle there is love. I greet the east, I greet the west, I greet the North, I greet the South. I am eternal life. I am eternal love. I am truth. I am peace, and peace dwells in me. I am power. I am wisdom. I am justice. I am that I am. I give thanks for all that ever was. I give thanks for all that is. I give thanks for all that ever will be. I question not the divine love, wisdom, and justice. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be blissful. May all beings be happy. And now, my beloved, adieu. May you who have listened be kept in harmony, joy, youth, and that peace that passes knowledge.